It's great with chips, perfect on a burrito, and tasty with eggs. It's one of America's favorite condiments. But have you ever wondered what makes salsa so fiery and flavorful? On this field trip, we're gonna spice it up as we gather our favorite ingredients to make the perfect salsa.
Field Trip is made possible by Cooperative Extension Service at New Mexico State University and by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
Salsa is more than a condiment. It's a dish that can be fiery hot or sweet and savory. It's made of fresh ingredients packed full of flavor and health benefits. Salsa can be made many different ways, but what most salsas have in common are 3 key ingredients: chili peppers, onions, and tomatoes. Each ingredient comes together in a perfect blend of zesty flavor.
Salsa is great all the way around. I mean, it goes good with chips. It can go good with your meal. It's got enough body, and it's interesting enough while you're eating that you don't get bored.
I like being able to work in the kitchen and combine flavors and chop things up and actually feel the food instead of buying a can and everything's processed. You can actually pick things in your own garden, and just the pleasure of taking that product and chopping it up and putting it together and having an end product that you can enjoy.
It's the spiciness. When you have something bland, you just add that to it and it changes the flavor. And sometimes when you taste something and you feel like you're missing something, it's the salsa that's supposed to be there.
Salsa may have originated in Central America, dating back to the Aztec, Inca, and Mayan civilizations. As food cultures evolved globally, various forms of salsa emerged. In the United States, the demand for salsa is greater than ever. It can be found as a major brand at the supermarket or a specialty item at a gourmet shop. It can even be made in your own kitchen.
Salsa is actually a global kind of dish. You can travel all over. People that go to the Caribbean will find salsa made with pineapple or papaya. If you go to India, they call it chutney really there. You'll find cucumber chopped up in their salsa. But when you're in New Mexico, it's usually 3 ingredients. It's tomato, onion, and then chilies. And so salsa has evolved into being really a major commodity. It actually surpassed ketchup as the #1 condiment being used in the United States in value.
We are a specialty chili company. That's what we do, all in a dehydrated form. So the company began as just an industrial ingredients company, and now we sell industrial ingredients and retail items, a few of which we have right here. A number of rubs, seasonings, salsas, and dips, all with the flair for people who love chili.
Well, we have a few dips and salsas, and we range them in heat levels. Some of them have a little sweetness to them, and some of them have smokiness. All you do with these is you add a can of diced tomatoes and you let it rehydrate, and you have a quick and easy salsa.
If you love spicy food, then you might prefer a salsa that's extra hot. Chili peppers give it that flavor of heat. From mild to scorching hot, there's a salsa for everyone.
There are a lot of different varieties and types of chilies with different heat. They're very mild to very hot. And you can actually use any of the chilies to make a salsa. It's just more of a personal taste, and it can either be the jalapeno or the green chili, and you really get a different kind of flavor or taste that way. And there's actually some people will use the little yellow chilies, the little yellow wax we call them, or Fresno chilies, and use that in their salsa and get a little different flavor or taste. Popular lately has been chipotle, which is a smoked-dried jalapeno, and you put one of those in a dish and it adds a smoky overtone to the salsa. What makes chilies hot is an alkaloid only found in chilies called capsaicinoids. there's at least 15 of these related compounds that cause a heat sensation when we consume them. In the early 1900s, they had to come up with a way to measure chili heat. If you take a dilution of chili powder, that will be the heat levels. For example, if it takes a 10,000 to 1 dilution before you don't taste any heat, that's a 10,000 Scoville heat unit. If it only takes 1,000 to 1 dilution, it'll be a 1,000 Scoville heat unit. And today we use a machine, high-performance liquid chromatography machine, to actually measure the heat, because I think it's obvious that if you taste chilies, you get what we call taster's fatigue. So you only taste so many samples, but with the machine, they can go all night tasting chilies and there's no problem, and so we can measure heat that way.
Growing a great chili pepper takes a lot of hard work. It all begins with the seed, a field, and a hard-working farmer.
Most growers will start their direct seeding early in the season, February or March. They plant the seed in the furrows into moist soil. We have a lot of early season diseases and disorders that will really hurt our stands. So many growers will plant a lot more seed than you would actually need if every seed ended up as a chili plant.
In general, it takes somewhere around 20 days for germination to start, and depending on the temperatures, if the days are warm, it could be just a little sooner. If it's cold, and we do get quite a few cold spells at this time of the year, it could take as long as 30 days and sometimes a little more than that.
After the summer growing season, the chili peppers have reached their peak. Now they're ready for harvest.
For green chili variety development, we really want a high succulent yield. So we're looking for very thick-walled chili peppers. We want very large, consistent sized peppers. Most of the green chili, actually all of the green chili currently, is hand harvested. So it's got to have a good plant habit where growers can get in and quickly hand pick the fruit off them. And then the chili pods are also destemmed in the field. We're slowly working on green chili for machine harvest now, and we're working with the engineers that they can develop better machines to pick. Other engineers are working on better mechanical destemmers, and we're hoping to breed green chili varieties that will work very well with the mechanical harvesters and the mechanical destemmers. For the machines, the biggest difficulties we've had with the machines to pick green chili are damage to the fruit. The succulent green chili are quite susceptible to breakage. Obviously, when you have a hand crew, they can gently kick the fruit, put them in the bucket, but the machines come through, and as they remove the fruit from the plants, oftentimes there will be some damage to them. In addition, we have the problems of the fruit set. Green chili fruit is an indeterminate plant, so it will continue to set fruit over the course of the life of that plant. And for machine harvest, what we really want to do is harvest all mature fruit. When you machine harvest, though, typically you'll get some fruit that are over mature and then many that are immature. And that's something we're working on from a breeding standpoint.
Once the green chili peppers are harvested, they are sent to a processing facility where they are cleaned, roasted, packaged, and sent to various companies throughout the country.
Green chili processing starts either the middle of July, or the end of July. And right now we are at the peak of it. We probably are starting to get to the point of where it'll slow down in the next 3 weeks. The chili is picked in the fields and directly brought here. We process it through a variety of different ways. We wash the product first, and then we select it out according to size or shape or heat level and variety. And then from there we roast it, and everything we do is a double flame roast on the chili. And then after that we package it according to our customers' needs, whether it's peeled, chopped, or whole, and we freeze it immediately after that and then sell it. The varieties that we sell are all New Mexico varieties, authentic New Mexico varieties. We don't do anything that is not a New Mexico variety per se. And the most famous two that we do are the Joe Parker and the New Mexico Big Jim. We also do other varieties, mild and hotter varieties as well. The hottest varieties we do are the New Mex Sandia and Big Jim. And we also are doing two new varieties released by the university, and one of them is the Heritage Big Jim and the Heritage 6-4. And one of them is a mild and the other one is a hot variety. My favorite is the Joe Parker. because it's real thick and very tasty, and it has just the right heat. The next one that I like is the Big Jim. We experiment every day with something new, and you never know what you're going to develop or what people are going to like, and that never ends. And I spend half of my time experimenting, so that's a lot of fun. A lot of our customers are restaurants here locally, and some of them are salsa companies as well. We do a lot of retail to a lot of the local people here in New Mexico and Arizona and Texas. And a lot of the companies use it for their restaurants, their dinners and their plates, but they also use it for spices and salsas that they sell.
Onions add an extra kick to salsa. Different varieties of onions can really enhance the flavor.
Well, there's basically three classes of varieties. There's your short day onions, which is what these are. There's intermediate day that are later summer, and the long day onions are not grown very much here. They're mostly up north. They're storage onions. Here in New Mexico, our short day onions are very good. They're very mild onions. Nearly all the varieties would be sweet.
To grow great onions, a farmer must invest a lot of time and hard work into his crop. Irrigation and pest control are some of the essential steps in the growing process.
We plant these in September, and we don't get to harvest them until June, sometimes nearly close to July. That's a long time to wait. The intermediate varieties that are produced quite a bit in this area are planted in January and February, and those are typically harvested in July and August. We're on subsurface irrigation here, and for onion production, it's ideal. It's kind of a mixture of moisture and oxygen. We're able to keep it at a desirable level for the onions. It's helped us. We've got a better quality onion, and we can produce more product per acre.
Before the onions can be made into salsa, they must be harvested, dried, and then sorted by size.
Well, what's going on behind me here today is they're actually harvesting the onions out of the field. We've gone in with the tractor and we've undercut the roots to loosen them from the soil. And the people come along with, very similar to sheep shears, they're actually onion shears now, but they shear off the roots and they also shear off the tops. Then they put them into these large plastic bins, and we take the bins into the facility for processing. We're going to take out anything that's too small to market, and then we're going to go across a grading table where we'll have women that actually go through and they sort any defects out, looking for any off colors, any mechanical damage, any visible decay that's there. They'll pick out the number 2s. They'll also pick out anything that's complete, trash that has to be discarded. Then it loads onto a machine that actually sizes it by weight, and we'll make it to 6 or 7 sizes. And then from there, it goes into the packaging where it'll be packaged in a 2-pound, 3-pound, 5-pound, 10-pound, 25-pound, or a 50-pound bag.